You're listening to the Productive Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Tanya Kendrick, and I'm on a mission to help online business owners like you focus on the right things and take imperfect action. Every week, you'll get my best tips on everything from time management and content creation to planning effectively and managing mindset issues, all in an effort to help you become more productive. So let's jump into this episode. Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Productive Entrepreneur Podcast. Today, we're going to dive into something that I consider a must-do for online business owners. Yes, you guessed it right. We're talking about email marketing. Now, let me take you back a few years. I was sitting in front of my fireplace with a stack of notebooks, brainstorming and creating plans for my new business. All the different strategies I might want to implement. SEO, social media, paid ads, you name it. All options were on the table. But there was one that was a no-brainer for me. And that was email marketing. Email marketing is like having a direct line to your audience right from the comfort of your home. It's more than just sending newsletters or promotional emails. It's about building relationships, fostering trust, and creating a loyal community of people who love your content and your brand. Well, maybe not as much as you do, but a lot. In this episode, we're going to explore the ins and outs of email marketing, including how it can simplify and streamline your business operations. No more feeling like a circus performer juggling dozens of different platforms. And guess what? I've got some handy resources and cool tips up my sleeve to help you unlock the true potential of email marketing. So why is email marketing so crucial for your business? To answer that, let's back up a bit. Remember the days when you could post something on Facebook or Instagram and all your followers would see it? Yeah, that's a memory that's fading fast, right? Now posting on social media is like trying to be heard in a crowded room where everyone's shouting at once. Social media platforms have become saturated and new ones are popping up every day. Hello Threads, I'm talking about you. That makes it harder than ever to reach potential customers organically. Now imagine having a direct line to your audience. No algorithms, no pay to play, just you and your subscribers. That's what you get with email marketing. It's like being invited into their living room for a chat. And that, my friends, is priceless. But here's the real kicker. Did you know that email marketing has one of the highest returns on investment? In fact, here's a quote. For every dollar spent on email marketing, marketers can expect an estimated $46 ROI. That's return on investment. That quote comes from the book, The Truth About Email Marketing, and I'll drop a link to it in the show notes. Think about that for a minute. $1 becomes $46. Yes, please. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, I don't have an email list, or maybe I have a list, but I've neglected it, don't worry. There's no time like the present to start building or nurturing your list. Remember, these people have given you permission to show up in their inbox. They're interested in what you have to say, and that is so powerful. Now, I won't sugarcoat it. Email marketing isn't a walk in the park. It requires strategy, consistency, and a bit of creativity. But don't fret because I have something that will help make your journey a lot easier. And that's my email marketing toolkit. It's an all-in-one resource packed with video lessons, worksheets, spreadsheets, and more to organize your strategy and make email marketing a breeze. It takes you through everything from building an email list to crafting compelling content and tracking your success. And the best part is that you can go at your own pace, implementing strategies as they fit into your schedule. And I'll drop a link to the toolkit in the show notes. Okay, let's move on and start getting into building your email list. Now, if you're like me when I first started, the idea of building an email list can be daunting. You might be thinking, how do I even begin? Or I've been trying, but my list is growing at a snail's pace. Trust me, I feel your pain. One of the things I've often said is that the first 100 subscribers will be the hardest to get, and then the first 1,000. But once you hit the 1,000 mark, it gets easier, so hang in there. And I've got some practical tips that will help you along the way. First up, lead magnets. These are essentially gifts you give to people in exchange for their email address. It could be anything from a handy checklist to a workbook to a short video training. The key is to make sure it's something your audience finds valuable. The biggest mistake I see people making is overthinking their lead magnet. What's something quick and easy that you can create that your audience can use to take the next step? Not something to take the next 3 steps, but to take the one next step. Next is content upgrades. These are a type of lead magnet that's closely tied to a piece of core content like a blog post, video, or podcast episode. For example, if you've written a blog post about healthy recipes, you could offer a downloadable meal plan as a content upgrade because those are closely related, right? If you want to see this in action, I have a content upgrade that goes with episode 1 of the podcast. The episode is called Discover the 10 Essential Types of Business Systems, and there's a PDF guide that goes with it, and that helps people get started creating systems for their business. So I'll drop a link to that episode in the show notes. And then there's the good old opt-in form. This is where visitors to your website can sign up to join your email list. It seems straightforward, right? But here's the trick. Make sure your opt-in form is visible and enticing. An opt-in form that blends into the background or is uninteresting is like a book with an uninspiring cover. Nobody's going to pick it up. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds great, but I don't know how to create compelling opt-in forms. Well, that's okay. There are lots of tools that can help you. My favorite is ConvertBox, and I've tried a lot of different lead generation tools. ConvertBox makes creating all kinds of opt-in forms super easy, from classic inline forms to pop-ups to announcement bars. And it has plenty of templates that you can use to get started, and it integrates well with most email service providers. I'll drop a link in the show notes. Just remember this. Growing an email list takes time. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So put on your favorite running shoes, set a steady pace, and keep moving forward one step at a time. Before you know it, you'll have an email list full of engaged and excited subscribers. Now that we've got our list building strategies underway, let's talk about the art of creating effective emails. Think about your own inbox for a minute. Which emails do you open? I bet it's the ones with subject lines that spark your interest or promise something that you need. Writing compelling subject lines is like penning a headline for a newspaper article. It needs to grab attention, stir curiosity, and make the reader want to know more. But what happens after they open the email? That's where the real magic happens. Your email should be like a good conversation over coffee. Personal, engaging, and leaving them wanting more. One key to achieving this is personalization. And I'm not just talking about using their name in the salutation. I mean tailoring content to their interests and needs. And let's not forget the all-important call to action. This is your ask. It should be clear, concise, and compelling. Whether you want them to check out your latest blog post, buy your new product, or sign up for a webinar, make sure your call to action stands out. Now, if your open rates and engagement are lower than you'd like, don't despair. It's time to put on your lab coat and start experimenting. Try different subject lines, email formats, send times, etc. Track what works and what doesn't. Remember, every audience is different. What works for someone else might not work for you. That's why it's not such a great idea to ask people in Facebook groups, what works for them with their emails. Find out what works for them, but then test it and see if it works for you. Here's a little tip from my own experience. Create a swipe file of good emails. Anytime you come across something that stands out, add it to your file. I do this right inside Gmail. I have labels set up for various things like subject lines, calls to action, etc. Swipe files can be a great source of inspiration when you're feeling stuck, and you can also learn a lot by studying the emails that you save. Learning to craft great emails is definitely a skill, and while you will learn from experience, you don't have to go it alone. One of my favorite resources for writing emails is Liz Wilcox's Email Marketing Membership. Liz is an email marketing whiz who has really cracked the code on creating emails that people can't wait to open. Each week, she sends out a template to help you write your email newsletter in a way that connects to your audience. and she includes a video walking through the purpose of the email and gives examples of how to customize it for different niches. Best of all, it's super affordable, as in only $9 a month. I'll drop a link to it in the show notes. Now that we've talked about crafting compelling emails, let's move on to segmentation and personalization. So I'm going to give you a scenario. I do genealogy in my spare time, so I'll use that as an example. Let's say we're at a party and I come up to you and I start talking all about my latest family history find. But here's the catch. You have zero interest in genealogy, so your eyes start glazing over. I'm laughing because genealogists are famous for this. We love to talk about our research to anyone who will stand still. But see, that's exactly how your subscribers feel when they receive generic emails that aren't relevant to their interests. So what's the solution? 2 words: segmentation and personalization. Segmentation is organizing your subscribers into different groups or segments based on their interests, behaviors, and demographics. Imagine having different guest lists for a family dinner, a friends get-together, and a business meeting. You wouldn't combine those lists for one event, would you? Segmentation works the same way. It allows you to tailor your emails to each group's specific needs and interests. Many email service providers allow you to tag subscribers based on things like purchase history, website browsing patterns, and interaction with your emails. You can use those tags to create all different kinds of segments. And in fact, this is one of the reasons that I use ConvertKit. It's so easy to tag subscribers and create customized segments. Segmentation ensures that your emails are relevant and valuable to each subscriber, and that increases the likelihood that they'll engage with your content and take the desired action. Then comes personalization. It's like adding a special touch to each email, making your subscribers feel like you're speaking directly to them. One way to do this is as simple as addressing them by their first name. Most everybody does this in the email salutation, and honestly, I think most subscribers don't even notice that anymore. But you can add their name in other places, like the subject line, in the body of the email, or even in the PS. Those areas pack a little more punch because it's not something that everybody does in every email. You can even send personalized emails acknowledging special occasions like birthdays or anniversaries. Big brands do this kind of thing all the time, but we can do it too. You may have to do a little digging to figure out how to make it work with your email service provider, but if you do, it can make your subscribers feel special and appreciated. Just remember that the key to successful email marketing is treating your subscribers not just as numbers on a list, but as real people with unique interests and needs. So we've talked about crafting emails, segmentation, and personalization. Now let's talk a bit about strategy and campaigns. Having an email marketing strategy is like having a roadmap for your journey. Without it, you're likely to get lost, waste time, and miss out on opportunities. But with a solid strategy, you'll know exactly where you're going, how to get there, and what to do along the way. And campaigns are the building blocks of your strategy. Creating effective email campaigns isn't just about sending emails. It's about sending the right emails to the right people at the right time. It's like being the DJ at a party. You need to read the room and play the tracks that get people dancing. So how do you do that? By planning your campaigns around your subscribers' behaviors and needs. For example, someone just signed up for your list. Send them a welcome email or even a series of welcome emails called a welcome sequence. If they haven't opened your emails in a while, put them in a re-engagement campaign. If they sign up for a freebie that's related to one of your products and they haven't bought that product, then put them in an evergreen funnel. It's all about being responsive to your audience's actions. But I hear you saying that sounds like a lot of work, and it can be. But automation can take a lot of the load off of you. Automated workflows allow you to set up a series of emails that are triggered by specific actions or events. It's like having a team of robots who send out your emails for you. So you put the work in on the front end, setting up the automations, and then let the robots do their thing in the background. ConvertKit has some great resources on using automations and sequences in their help documentation. I'll drop links in the show notes. Of course, those resources are specific to the ConvertKit platform, so if you use a different email service provider, just look up automation in their help docs, and I'm sure you'll find something that can help you. Okay, folks, we're near the end of today's episode, so let's recap. We talked about the importance of crafting engaging emails. Remember, your email subject line is like the headline of a newspaper. It needs to grab attention and spark curiosity. We also delved into the world of segmentation and personalization. The key here is to treat your subscribers as individuals, not just numbers on a list. When you do this, it can significantly boost your engagement rates. Then we discussed the necessity of a solid email marketing strategy. It's your roadmap, your guide, ensuring that you're not just sending emails, but sending the right emails to the right people at the right time. And don't forget the power of automation, which can make managing your campaigns so much easier. And we talked about a lot of handy resources that can help you with your email marketing. You'll find links to all of those in the show notes. Now it's time for action. That's where the real power lies. So I encourage you to start implementing these strategies in your own business. Start small. Pick one thing that you're not doing today and add it to your to-do list. Maybe it's setting up a swipe file for great emails that come through your inbox. Maybe it's signing up for Liz Wilcox's email marketing membership. Maybe it's setting up your first email automation. Whatever it is, take action. Don't put this off for someday. Take a small step today. And thanks so much for listening to the Productive Entrepreneur Podcast. Head on over to TanyaKendrick.com/4 to view the show notes. You'll find links to all the resources mentioned. And if you enjoyed this episode, it would mean so much to me if you'd take a moment to leave a rating and review. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit subscribe so that you can listen as soon as the next episode is released. Have a great day. And before you go, if you like what you hear on the Productive Entrepreneur Podcast, then come check out the Organized Business Toolbox. It's my monthly membership for solo entrepreneurs who want to feel in control and take imperfect action to move their businesses forward. When you join, you'll get instant access to the Training and Resource Vault, and a new toolbox or course drops every month. Plus, we have monthly Voxer office hours where you can privately ask me questions and get my direct feedback. If that sounds like something you need, the link is in the show notes, or visit TanyaKendrick.com, and I'll see you on the inside.